Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
What's going on, guys? Sorry for the technical delay. I don't know what's going on with freaking X and YouTube and StreamYard right now. We're live for the Raw Recap. I don't know, my computer's had this weird light. I've been streaming from a new spot, so yeah. But before I get into the stream, I'm gonna do what I always do before the stream. Obviously, After Slam Podcast is doing a After Slam with DWE he's doing a WWF Intercontinental Championship raffle. It's pretty simple to get in. You basically just scan the barcode, pay the $15, and then the only catch is you have to subscribe to the EVP Show, Talking About Wrestling Podcast, and After the Slam Podcast to be eligible for the raffle. You can enter as many times as you want. It's $15, really cheap. $15 to win that belt is amazing, because that belt's old school. A lot of great Hall of Famers have held that belt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the video from After Slam Podcast, and then the pictures as well, and then I'll show it at the end. And also, if you guys have any questions, the raffle is going to go from now. It started like a week or so ago. It's going to end on the 28th of February. And then the winner is going to be drawn on March the 1st. So definitely want to get in that raffle before Elimination Chamber. So I'll go ahead and get to the video.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slam podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slam history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slam podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you got to do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only $15. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP Show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt. Shipped straight to your door. Only $15. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month, so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
Alright, so there's a $15 win, a WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. How to enter: subscribe to After the Slam Podcast, Talking About Wrestling Podcast, and the EVP Show. Send $15 via PayPal for one raffle entry. Each $15 is one entry. More entries, better chances to win. Winner will be drawn March the 1st. And here is the QR code. So you guys, it's all in your hands. You can be the IWC Intercontinental Champion. Just scan that QR code, give us all a subscription on YouTube, and you are in there after you pay the $15. So shout out to After Slam for that. I had to tweet out your live on my X page. Yeah, I don't know. So I appreciate that, Raymond. Yeah, I appreciate that. If you can retweet it, so I can see it. Because StreamYard or X is having difficulties with lives right now. I don't see your tweet. I'll have to look for it really quick. Did you tweet it on your page or did you just repost it on the X page? Okay, I got you. I'll see it. It shouldn't be streaming from that Talk It Up podcast. Okay. I didn't know if you could like put it on my page or what. I can't see it, so I don't know what's going on. I did get a notification that it was they were having trouble. StreamYard's having trouble with X. Are you guys able to see me pretty clear? Because like I said, I'm in a different spot, so like I don't know if like my camera's like or it's the background or what, but I just short for Sunday and they turned out like really bad. I don't know if it's like my camera or what. You guys able to see me good or what? My shorts were like really shitty Sunday because of the lighting. I don't know what's going on with this. It's a brand new computer, so I don't know if it's the background or the lighting or what. Appreciate that, Raymond. Though, if you can retweet that, okay. If you can retweet that on my page, that'd be great. Shout out to Stampede. Holy Monday Mid. I'm seeing quilting bees that moved along quicker with better action. Yeah, I'm not impressed with Raw right now. It's terrible. It's really bad. Stampede will be joining me next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't know who else right now. I know Vinny from Suds and Square Circle Media as well. I'm gonna try to get 3 more people at least at 7 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday night for the Elimination Chamber Prediction Show. So you guys be sure to check out Stampede. It'll be his first time on the EVP show. So looking forward to having Stampede on. Yeah, Raw was so mid. I don't know how people are enjoying it. But I'm not gonna get all over X and like, say anything about it. But the product is fucking bad right now. I don't know. No wonder why they're having trouble selling tickets. I mean, they better call The Rock or something. It's bad. I mean, they got 4 faces in the Elimination Chamber right now, which is just crazy. All 4 faces. I see like a light in the middle of my screen. Hold on. It's terrible. It's like getting on my nerves. I don't know if it's a background or what. Maybe it's just on my end. I don't know. We'll see. But welcome to the Raw Recap. It was not a great show, I don't think. For me, anyways, it wasn't. I mean, I think it was like at best like a C. We now have 4 men and 4 women have qualified for Elimination Chamber. They did announce 2 more Elimination Chamber matches next week. Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane will be competing in that's going to be the last one because the 5th one's going to be determined on SmackDown this coming week with Charlotte, Nia, and Kiana James. So, wait. Yeah, so Alexa, Rhea, Tiffany, and Asuka. Yeah, so yeah, only 2 more qualifying matches each. Then obviously we got Javon Evans qualified tonight. Then we got Trick, Carmelo, and Damian Priest Friday, and then next week we got Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and who is the other one? Let me see. Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, and the original El Grande Americano. So we know Bronson Reed probably winning that. I don't know. I mean, they may put Jay in it, but there's got to be a couple of heels. It can't be all baby faces in there. I mean, they may put Jay in there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I do think Io qualifies next week. I think they're trying to put all those tag teams in the women's. Anyway, let's get to the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. The ones that are watching, I don't know if you're watching on X or YouTube. Let's get to it. So tonight's Raw was from the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. I've actually been there before. Super nice facility. We're going to see the ring general, the career killer Gunther, which I talked about on Sunday Scoops last night, that he wasn't going to win tonight. I said it last night. You can go back and watch the show. I thought Dom may win, but I wasn't sure on the winner. I just knew that Gunther wasn't going to win, because the only thing that they can have him do right now is retire people. So I do believe that he is going to face Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. I do believe he's going to retire him. So I know everybody wants it to be Dom, and I sort of do too. But I mean, what else are they going to do with Gunther? I mean, they're going to do Gunther and Dragon Lee at WrestleMania? Like, no, come on. They're not doing that. So tonight we're going to see the career killer Gunther, the young OG Javon Evans, and the double champion, the Intercontinental champion, and the AAA Mega champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, in a men's elimination chamber triple threat qualifying match plus Bailey, the Kabuki Warrior, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, and Natty, low-key legend Natty, will battle each other in a women's elimination chamber triple threat qualifying match. Oh, this show is just really bad. But we're going to get through it, guys. We're going to get through it. Corey Gray, Michael Cole on commentary. Obviously, Kathy Kelly, I saw she was tweeting. She was up. There's something going on there with her. That's her and Rhea and Io and all that. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I don't know. We'll see. They could put Jay in Elimination Chamber just so we can watch him trip coming out of the pod. I saw Jimmy fall off the top rope and botch tonight. I don't know what's going on with all these people, man. This is wild. I mean, it probably take them like 30 minutes to get to the ring. So, because they're going to run it back like 4 times. So, but yeah, it's bad. So the show opens up with Jimmy and Jay making their way from, look like the concession stand or something, down to the ring. Jay had like a bandana on. I think Jimmy's about to be taking some time off or something. He's about to go on like maternity leave or something like that. Obviously Jey Uso's music hits. They're starting to make their way down to the ring. But before they can get down there, Paul Heyman interrupts. LA Knight and the Usos versus Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory, 6.35. That's a pretty high rating. Stampede for that match. And I would probably give it about a 6 myself. I don't know. I like what Logan Paul is doing right now. In the ring. I seen that he was like talking shit with Tom Brady on social media. Then didn't he sell like a Pokemon card for like $16 million or something like that, which is just absolutely crazy. That's so much money. But but Stampede gives them a 6.35 for the match. So Paul Heyman interrupts. The fans keep raising their arms as he walks out. Heyman tells them to cut the music and stands tall with his men on his side. Then Paul delivers his signature introduction. Logan Paul then grabs the mic and he brags about how much he sold his Pokemon card for, which was, I think, around close to $16-17 million, something like that. He gives himself a dramatic Paul Heyman style introduction, which was fun. That was fun. Logan Paul definitely getting a lot better on the mic. He says he has a vision for Raw to host the show in the greatest city in the United States, and this is not it. Memphis, Tennessee. He looks around and says, "This isn't it." Paul Heyman says he has footage that perfectly captures his mood tonight. And then they roll for recap from last week, where obviously the Masked Man. They keep rolling this Masked Man out here, so like it really makes me think that there's still a chance that we get Seth and Braun at WrestleMania, because ultimately this masked guy is going to end up being Seth Rollins. So like, that's why I'm wondering if it's Seth in the crate. I've heard rumors it could be Seth, it could be Chris Jericho. I don't know. I haven't heard shit about Chris Jericho, so I mean, for me, it would make sense if it was Seth, but I don't know. But they keep running this mask guy out there, so you know, from people I talk to on the inside and stuff, I'm just watching the product. It does seem like there's a possibility that we could still get Seth Braun at Mania, because they're still doing this mask stuff. Unless they're gonna run like a tag match or something, I don't know. It wasn't Bad Bunny. He was in a different country, so that rules him out. I thought it could have been Waller, but I don't know. We'll see. But it's originally, when it all pans out, it's gonna be Seth Rollins. So we got back live. Austin Theory says that it's real original to have a masked man interfere. He said that was his match to win, especially with you two bum-ass guys involved. Adam Pearce comes out and says playtime is over. He suggests that they take this to the back and handle it like men. Austin Theory refuses. He says he won last week and claims Adam Pearce screwed him. Pearce fires back, pointing out that if it wasn't for Bronson Reed and Logan Paul getting involved, security would have stopped the Masked Man. Paul Heyman demands that Bronson Reed be added to Elimination Chamber immediately. Pearce says he's heard about the phone calls going over his head. I don't know if that's talking about The Rock. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. He has no issue putting Reed in the chamber if he earns it. Reed will compete in a qualifying match next week, like I said earlier, against the original El Grande Americano and Jey Uso. It will be for the last spot in the men's chamber. Jericho is more likely for the box, I'd say, based on his Body Tour schedule. He finished up on the 21st. Yes. I did know that. And I did say, like, the original plans was Jericho to be involved at WrestleMania. So, yeah, it makes sense if it is Jericho. I did say, like, if he's going to be involved, like, he needs to show up at either at the Chamber or at the beginning of March to still have time to build for WrestleMania. So I think it does fit more of something Chris Jericho would do. Seth Rollins, I don't know. I guess they could replay the whole Sting thing, I guess, or if that's what I think it was Sting. But I do believe it's Chris Jericho as well. I think it could be Seth or Chris Jericho. I don't think it's anybody else besides them two, though. Keep an eye on the yeah, because once he gets removed from that, then we'll know for sure. But since the depository didn't on 21st, that definitely hikes up the interest. I'll know for sure by the time I do Sunday scoops. So I'll give you guys an update on what I've heard on that situation. So Bronson Reed's going to compete in the final spot for the Elimination Chamber. I've seen Ghost of Madness and several other ones reporting that Brock Lesnar is going to be in the chamber. He is not. So you guys got to watch who you believe with all this shit online. So then we get LA Knight coming out. A lot of people think that he's winning an Elimination Chamber, and he also is not winning Elimination Chamber. So you guys are getting your hopes up. It's not going to happen. And I'm praying to the lucky stars that Brock Lesnar, when he shows up next week, that they do not do a LA Knight interruption. It needs to be over Femi. That should be the play. That was supposed to be the play. They do not need to pivot and go to LA Knight and Brock. It's going to be a squash match for LA Knight because he's not going to win. And I don't see any story there besides he helped Cody throw him out the Rumble. So I don't know if like Brock's going to come out and be like, the leader if Braun Breaker's not coming back or something right now. I don't know, but I don't want to see LA Knight and Brock, so I'm hoping that that's not the direction they're going. I'm hoping Oba is going to sign to Raw. I know he did compete in a dark, like the main event. It's like a dark match type thing. It's also told that Kendall Gray and Skylar Ray from NXT were also in Memphis as well. So congratulations to them. I don't know. I didn't see the matches, but they were sent over there for that. So LA Knight interrupts, said you can almost smell a 6-man tag match coming. Knight says the chickens have come home to roost. He tells Theory he got screwed by the Masked Man and now his Elimination Chamber dreamers are dead. And he turns to Reed and says he wants him in the chamber so he can stick his head in there and kick it off. Logan cuts him off and asks if Knight means the same car that he got put through. I don't know if Raymond's still watching. Let's see if we could repost my stream on my page because I can't find it. Logan said he wants to, he asked Knight about if it's the same car that he got put through. Knight mocks Logan, and he said he's got one coming too. He said something about it, called him something a broccoli head or something like that. So there's like gifs and emojis running around. Shout out to DW Replay for reposting the stream. I don't know how you guys are seeing it. I don't know which X page you guys are seeing it on. LA Knight mocks Logan. He tells Pierce he's not trying to run the show, but there are 3 of them in the ring. While he hasn't always seen eye to eye with the Usos, there are 2 Usos and him. Pierce asked the Memphis crowd, then he asked the Usos, and they're in. So we're having an impromptu 6-man tag to kick off Raw. Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight. So all 6 men start throwing punches before the referee can call for the bell. Theory and Logan get dumped to the floor, leaving Bronson to eat. He was getting shots from everyone. LA Knight drops Reed with a discus punch that sends him to the outside. Logan slides back in, and the referee starts the match. So then we get Jimmy Uso in. He hits a double sledge off the turnbuckle, but Theory stops him with a punch. Jay gets the tag. The Usos hit a double back elbow, and they double elbow drop for the count of 2. Jimmy jumped up the top rope, and he botched really bad. Knight tags in and lands a leaping neck breaker for a near fall. It wasn't a terrible match. I'm glad the heels won. The Vision needed to get some momentum back on their side. Logan throws Knight into the apron and keeps him from tagging. Theory joins in for double suplex, but they didn't get the pinfall. They isolate LA Knight, choking him on the ropes and sending him back outside. So they're still battling. Jay explodes in with the leaping clothesline to Logan and knocks Theory off the apron. He hits the infamous spit punch that he does and drives a running hip into the corner. Jay gets 2, then spears Logan, but Theory breaks it up. Knight then dumps Theory over the top rope. Theory tries to fight back, but Knight escapes and sends him into the ring post before planting him with the PFT. Reed charges in and spears Knight through the ringside barrier. Logan blocks a super kick and hits a zigzag for a 2. Jimmy then gets the tag. He hits the reverse exploder. The Usos connect with double super kicks and a 1D, but Reed breaks up the cover. Reed headbutts Jay to the floor, then wipes out both Usos with a suicide dive. He sends Jay over the announce table and rolls Jimmy back inside. Logan lands a punch also. Reed tags in and crushes Jimmy with the tsunami splash for the 1-2-3. But the Masked Man did come out there again and stomped Logan Paul. So we did see the Masked Man again tonight. But Jimmy Uso was pinned by Bronson Reed with the tsunami for 1-2-3. Your winners is Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory. So then Logan Paul grabs the headset from Michael Cole, starts running his mouth on commentary. Out of nowhere, the Masked Man storms in and drills Logan with a stomp right on the announce table. Chaos erupts as Bronson Reed chases the Masked Attacker through the crowd. Paul Heyman, Austin Theory, and Bronson Reed are furious about this Masked Man. They need to hurry up and reveal this. So then they announced that next Monday on Raw be the last women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Io Sky faces Raquel Rodriguez and Kairi Sane. And Bronson Reed will also battle Jey Uso in the original El Grande Americano. So backstage, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is walking with his assistant when they stop in the front of a massive crate labeled "Delivered to WWE." Do not open until February 28, 2026. Pierce tells his assistant Eli to load it back on the truck and send it to SmackDown for Nick Aldis to deal with. So somebody's going to come out of that crate at the Elimination Chamber. So speculation is going to be running rampant all the way until Elimination Chamber. We're going to hear all kinds of names, but I've got it pretty much narrowed down to Chris Jericho or Seth Rollins. I don't really think it makes much sense for it to be anybody else but them two. But we'll find out on the 28th, and I'm sure we'll see the crate again on SmackDown Friday. So Los Americanos approached Adam Pearce. El Grande Americano is upset he is not in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match and demands an Intercontinental Championship opportunity, which they announced like previously. Body Slam did that the Intercontinental Championship picture was going to be addressed. I still honestly think we get Ben and Dom at WrestleMania. But Penta did earn the Intercontinental Championship opportunity, so we'll see. Pearce refuses to hand him a title shot, but tells him he can earn one. The Los Americanos walk off frustrated. So then we see a video package airing, featuring Natty, Bayley, and Asuka. Natty says a lot has changed since the last Elimination Chamber. Bayley says her WrestleMania dream was stolen from her last year, and Asuka vows to make history again by winning the Elimination Chamber. The three will face off next. So who will join Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match? Gonna be another one of the tags, like 3 tag team people, and Tiffany Stratton after this, and then Charlotte's more than likely going to advance Friday, which will be number 5, which will have Alexa and Charlotte, and then Io is probably going to advance Monday, which will be Rhea Io, Alexa Charlotte, that's 4, Tiffany is 5, who's the odd one? Rhea Io, Alexa, Charlotte, Tiffany. Who am I leaving out? Asuka. Yeah, I do think it's going to be Asuka, Rhea, Io, Charlotte, Alexa, and Tiffany Stratton. That's probably going to be your 6 right there. So we get Asuka versus Natty and Bailey. 6.50. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Wasn't terrible. So Natty starts off with the clothesline on Bailey and misses, and Bailey immediately knocks Asuka down. Natty shoots in with a double leg takedown and rains punches on Bailey. Bailey sends Natty to the floor before hitting a snapmare and sliding clothesline. Asuka rolls to the outside, but Natty sneaks back in and attacks Bailey from behind. Natty locks in a surfboard stretch until Asuka flies in with a drop kick to Bailey. There was a lot of near falls here. They got broken up. It was a pretty good match. It wasn't too bad. Asuka shoves Natty and they start trading forearms and sharp slaps. Natty gains the edge with a German suplex. She tries for a powerbomb, but Asuka blocks it. Asuka fights off Natty, only for Bailey to blast her with a sunset flip buckle bomb. Bailey follows with a dropkick to the corner on Asuka. When Bailey turns her attention to Natty, Natty counters and catapults Bailey straight into the ring post. Natty follows Bailey into the timekeeper's area and throws punches before sending her back into the ring. So later on down the match, Asuka responds with a forearm and double sledge and locks in an armbar. Natty breaks it up with a forearm to the back of Asuka's head and follows with a kick in the corner. Asuka then hits a sunset flip. Bailey clotheslines Natty and plants Asuka for it with a neck breaker. Bailey hits Natty with a boot and climbs up for an elbow drop to the back for a near fall. She sets Asuka on the turnbuckles and traps Natty in the tree of woe. Bailey springs off the ropes with an elbow drop to Natty in the tree, knocking her to the floor. The more they book and present Bailey the way they do, the louder those voices get for January 2027. I agree. Yeah, they're not booking Bailey good at all. She's buried down there with Lyra in the tag team division. Natty, all 3 women stand toe to toe, start trading forearms. Bailey jumps back in with a forearm, but Natty spins her around with a discus clothesline. Bailey fires back with a belly to back suplex on Natty, then heads up, drop on Asuka for a near fall. Natty recovers. And they start brawling. Natty plants Bailey with a German suplex, sending her crashing to the floor. Asuka drives Natty back inside and locks in the Asuka lock. Natty flips through to escape and almost scores the near fall right there. Asuka fires off kicked, but Natty countered with a Liger bomb for the 2 count. Natty locks the sharpshooter in, but Bailey charges in with a running knee to break it up. Now she definitely had the sharpshooter fully applied. Bailey charges in with a running knee to break it up and follows with a cutter on Natty in the ropes. Asuka knocks Natty off the apron with a hip attack. Bailey hits the Bailey to Bailey suplex on Asuka for another near fall. So get to the end of the match here. Natty applies a sharpshooter again. Bailey breaks it up with a running knee, follows with a cutter in the ropes. Asuka knocks Natty off the apron with a hip attack. Bailey goes for the rose plant, but Asuka counters with strike. Bailey tries a backslide for 2. Asuka sends Bailey into Natty, then traps Bailey in the Asuka lock, and Bailey taps out. So Asuka made Bailey tap out. Your winner is Asuka. So Asuka now joins Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. So that's 4 ladies. Obviously, the 5th qualifying match we're going to see Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Kiana James. That'll be the 5th on Friday, and then next Monday we're going to see Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane for that 6th and final spot in the chamber. And we pretty much know that it's going to be either Trick, Carmelo, or Damian for the 5th spot in the men's, and then Bronson, Jay, or the original. It's not going to be him. It's going to be Bronson or Jay. But the original Grande Americano. So after the match, though, Maxine Dupree storms out and attacks Natty from behind in the aisle and throws her into the LED board. So yeah, another match coming up between Maxine and Natty, I'm sure. Backstage, Adam Pearce is with the ruler himself, Obafemi, and presents him with a contract to sign, saying the offer is better than before. Oba says that he needs time to think it over. Pearce tells him to take all the time he needs. But as he's walking out, I was asked about him on Scoops yesterday, and I hadn't heard anything. We see Rusev, but one thing that did catch my attention is he had the shirt on of the old character that we all love, Rusev Day. So maybe they're bringing back Rusev Day, which would be great. Maybe Lana's coming back. Rusev walks in, they get a little stare down, and Obafemi leaves. So that could happen down the road. So we are going to the interview that they talked about that Michael Cole is going to be doing with the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Liv Morgan. So Liv and Michael Cole are about to do their interview, and Dom Mysterio shows up. Liv says she has decided, and she decides that she is not going to rush this decision. I don't know why that they're putting this off unless, and I saw somebody post this, I think it was Michael from the Running Wrestle podcast. I saw him post it on X a little bit after that interview. Unless they're going to have Raquel qualify and have Raquel win the chamber and immediately challenge Stephanie, and then we get Raquel, Stephanie, and Liv in a triple threat. Either way it goes, Liv is not going after Jade Cargill, so like that's just not happening. But Liv is stalling, so that's making me think WWE is like up in the air right now. They could book Raquel to win this whole damn thing. He made a great point, a valid point. I mean, I discussed it a couple of weeks ago. Like, you know, maybe they do a triple threat. Because the Judgment Day is like there's a lot of dissension going on. She said she's not going to rush her decision. She's enjoying people waiting to see what she's going to do, since she waited a long time for this. But then Stephanie by court interrupts and talks to Liv in Spanish. Obviously, it's all translated on WWE. I'm not going to read it all out. And Dom tries to talk to her. Dom tries to translate. Stephanie tries to tell Liv why to pick her. When Stephanie is done, she gets up and leaves. Dom continues to translate, and Cole tries to ask a shaking up Liv Morgan that's crying. She's like, good actor. She just did the movie, so she was really crying. She's super crying, and she ends up leaving the room with Dominic Mysterio. So, I mean, either they're doing that, or are we gonna get a heel? Is Dom going to turn on Liv or Stephanie by court? I mean, that would be a huge twist. And have a heel Stephanie. I hate this glare. I don't know why I have a glare. I don't know if it's my computer or what. It's like right in the middle. I'm trying to like see where the camera is. I don't see anything. I'm trying to get rid of this glare. But yeah, she's not gonna rush her decision. But Stephanie definitely seemed like the heel in that interview for sure. So we get the best in the world, CM Punk. He makes his way down to the ring. CM Punk kicked things off by saying it was great to be alive on a Monday night in Memphis. crowd was clearly behind him, and he said that's a little different from how things feel backstage. According to Punk, Adam Pearce thinks he's jeopardizing the WrestleMania main event with Roman Reigns. Punk disagrees. He said he's making it better. He compared it to a team making the playoffs. Just because you qualify doesn't mean you stop playing, which is true. Punk brought up the idea of earning versus deserving. He said Finn Balor deserved a title shot in Belfast, but in Chicago, he's earned the beating that's coming to him, the ass whooping, basically. Punk reminded everyone that Finn jumped him in Toronto and ruined what would have been his last time sharing a ring with AJ Styles. Obviously, they're going to do a tribute to AJ next week. I think maybe he could do some backstage work. Maybe he gets put into the Hall of Fame. I don't know. I don't think he gets back in the ring, though. Punk admitted he says and does things that make people mad. That's who he is. He said fans wouldn't love him if he didn't. He called himself the best in the world and made it clear that the title doesn't belong to Roman Reigns or Finn Balor. So then out comes the Judgment Day and the return of JD McChicken Nugget. That brought out Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. The three surrounded the ring. Finn told Punk to relax. They weren't there to fight. He said being the best in the world means training with Europe's top catch wrestlers, learning from the best luchadors in Mexico, surviving Japan's toughest dojos, and beating Roman Reigns in your debut. Finn says he's the real best in the world, and when he beats Punk in Chicago, he'll be improving the WrestleMania main event, not ruining it. It's wishful thinking for Balor, but he's not joining that match at all. That's not going to happen. Punk fired back asking why Dominic and JD were even there. I think the fans started calling JD a bobblehead at one point, which is fucking hilarious. He said he knows who Finn is, or at least who he used to be. Punk pointed out that Judgment Day wasn't with Finn during his rise in Europe, Mexico, or Japan, and claimed they've been holding him back. He mocked Dominic for having two titles and never defending them, and took a shot at JD, saying something about his head as well. Punk then assumed they had a plan to jump him. He turned his back and dared them to do it, saying if they attack him, Finn risks jeopardizing his own title match. Punk added he doesn't need anyone's help to be the best in the world. Finn had to hold Dominic and JD back as Punk exited the ring, leaving the tensions high, even between the Judgment Day. Shout out to 292 people that we do have watching live tonight. Sorry, I know it's a shit show right now on X, trying to get stuff streamed. I got a notification from StreamYard saying that X is having difficulty streaming. So backstage, Byron Saxton, I know Kathy Kelly was upset she wasn't the one doing it, catches up with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky and asks how they're holding it together on the road to WrestleMania. Rhea said it's always a fight. She points out that Nia Jax and Lash Legend thought they could take the titles, but they failed. Rhea adds that they raised the stakes and now it's time to finish the job. Io keeps it simple and says they'll be ready. So then they're interrupted by Asuka and Kairi Sane. Kairi says it will all be over in the Elimination Chamber because Asuka is inside the chamber match, and they'll make sure that Rhea and Io don't win. Asuka gestures confidently while Kairi promises they'll make sure Asuka leaves as champion. Io tries to speak to Kairi, but Asuka calls Kairi's name, and Kairi backs off without another word. So we know that Asuka's been bullying Kairi, and eventually it's going to lead to Kairi flipping and turning on Asuka. They're going to have a match. So it's where they're going with that. So after that tense exchange, the Americanos grab the mic and address the crowd. We're going to get a number one contenders match for Dominic Mysterio's Intercontinental Championship. It'll be El Grande Americano versus Penta, the number one contenders match. So it starts off, Penta gets control. Penta connects with a super kick. Grande answers with a punch, only for Penta to fire back with a longboard. Penta goes for a springboard clothesline just as Grande throws one of his own, and both men collide and crash to the mat. Grande regains control with their punch. So the comment, absolutely impossible. Absolutely impossible to believe Kairi Sane was the first ever IWGP Women's Champion with the way they present her. Yeah, I mean, she was like a super geek right now, Stampede. Are you able to see me pretty well, Stampede, or do I have a really bad glare? Because you seem to be the only one on, like, talking. So, are you able to see me pretty good, or do I have a bad glare? Because I just wiped my camera down. Yeah, they are presenting her awful. So, Grande cuts him off with a snapmare, goes straight for the mask. Okay, you can see me fine, perfect. Penta returns the favor with a snapmare of his own and grabs at Grande's mask, but Grande reaches the ropes. So Raya and Bravo get involved at ringside, causing a distraction while Grande keeps the referee busy. Grande capitalizes. Just lost my notes again. Sorry. Grande capitalizes with a clothesline for a near fall. So then Grande escapes the Penta driver and draws Penta to the mat. He locks in a submission, but Penta manages to counter for a near fall. Penta pulls him down and finally hits the Penta driver for a close 2 count. Penta signals for the destroyer, but Ryo jumps onto the apron and distracts him. That opening is all Grande needs as he blasts Penta with a headbutt for a close 2 count. At ringside, Bravo reaches into his gear and pulls out a piece of metal. Looking to change the outcome before he can use it, someone drags him under the ring. Raya then gets kicked into the announce table, and it's the original El Grande Americano, which is Chad Gable. Costco hits the scene and takes control. He plants Rayo with the Chaos Theory, then hip tosses Bravo over the announce table. Grande starts arguing with Chad Gable, and that distraction cost him. Penta springs off the ropes and connects with a destroyer for the 1, 2, 3, and now he is now the #1 contender for Dominic Mysterio's Intercontinental Championship. After the match, Penta gives a nod to Classico, which is Chad Gable. El Grande Americano, Louis Kaiser versus Penta, 6.45. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I'm ready to see the real Chad Gable. These Grande Americanos, this shit's gonna end at WrestleMania. They're gonna do a masked match, and we're done with that, hopefully. Penta gives a nod to Classico and exits the ring. Classico isn't done. He punches Grande, hits a back body drop, delivers another Chaos Theory. He teases unmasking Grande, but Raya and Bravo rush in and pull Grande to safety before any more damage can be done. Like I said, it's going to be the Classico Grande Americano against El Grande Americano. Louis Kaiser versus Chad Gable at WrestleMania, mask versus mask. So we go back in the storage area. Dominic Mysterio tells Liv everything is under control because he got the guys handling things. He suggests Liv and Raquel go spend some time together while he takes care of business. So Liv still looks like she's visibly upset, leaves with Raquel. So JD McDonough pulls Ben Balor aside and tells him Punk has clearly gotten into his head. JD says Ben was embarrassed by what happened in Ireland and reminds him they could have handled Punk already. Ben shuts that down. He said this is something he has to do on his own. JD insists he's just trying to help, but Ben tells him to let him handle it solo. JD backs off and says fine. Dom then reminds everyone he still has a match tonight, which there was no Judgment Day to be found. Later during the break, Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller come out. Kofi says he's got terrible news for the idiots in the crowd. He reveals that Xavier Woods is injured and has been dealing with a shoulder issue. According to Kofi, Woods has been ordered to take time off to recover. Didn't even know that. Waller then claims he got a text from Woods saying Woods never wanted to be stuck in a poor town like Memphis. He even takes a shot at Ja Morant, plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, joking about him wanting out of the Grizzlies, drawing more heat from the crowd. So then we get AJ Lee, which still has not wrestled a match. She's not going to wrestle a singles match until Elimination Chamber. And I do think that she's going to run it back with Becky at WrestleMania. I mean, she's fighting Becky at Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental Championship. But I do think they end up running it back at WrestleMania too. AJ makes her way down to the ring. She said last week she came out for moral support and somehow walked out as the new #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. She admits she had fun getting under Becky's skin. Becky reminded her how real this is when she sent her into the ring post. AJ points out she hasn't had a singles match in over a decade, which Stampede told me this last Monday, let alone a title match. Back then, all they were fighting for was one sparkly pink butterfly. She says she loved that championship and wore it proudly because she made that title mean something. She flat out says she's not modest and knows exactly who she is. There was a women's division before AJ, and there's going to be one after her, and that's her legacy. AJ says she wants to fight everyone. Bayley, Lyra, Rhea, Io, Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day, Charlotte, Alexa, the very best. But no matter what, it always comes back to Becky. She questions why Becky is so angry. Is it because AJ's merchandise sells better? Because the fans like her more? She says she gave Becky a 10-year head start and Becky still hasn't caught up. She even thanks Becky, saying without her she may never have stepped back into the ring to prove she can still go or prove she can still be champion. If she walks out of Chicago as champion, she says she'll walk into WrestleMania as champion. AJ then calls Becky out, and then we get Becky Lynch, the Intercontinental Champion. Becky starts mocking AJ, asking if she really thinks this is some big comeback title run. Becky says this is just a chance for AJ to gather her friends and family in Chicago for a retirement match she never had or deserved. AJ Lee lists all the people she would love to fight that she should have fought to earn the title shot. She has, but fought none of those people or anyone to get the title shot. It adds up. It does not add up. I'm hoping that she does fight some of those people before she quits the Stampede, but I don't know. We'll see. Becky says she has been making history while AJ has been making comic books. She tells AJ that even if she makes it through Elimination Chamber, then she can talk about the one time she beat Becky one-on-one. AJ says they can save the title match for Chicago, or they can throw hands right now. Becky takes off her coat and teases to get into the ring, but stops. She asks if she looks stupid. She says AJ would just sucker punch her. AJ says she would never do that, and since Becky loves cheap shots, she'll even let Becky swing first. She even blows a kiss at Becky. She is really trying to get Becky Lynch to hit her. AJ steps forward, puts her hands behind her back. Becky says she knows AJ's games. She thinks AJ wants her to attack, so she'll have an excuse at Elimination Chamber. Becky Lynch refuses and says she doesn't fight in Memphis and walks away. So that was it for that segment. We'll see them go head-to-head at Elimination Chamber. Backstage, Adam Pearce is in the hallway with security when he runs into Paul Heyman and the Vision outside his office. Austin Theory is yelling about what happened to his brother and his boy, Logan Paul. Heyman tells Austin and Logan to get the jet and go get on the jet outside. Heyman then demands Pearce handle the masked man situation. Pearce says it is a problem for him too. Bronson Reed steps up and says he solves problems. He says when he catches the masked man, that problem will be solved. And when he wins the Elimination Chamber, that problem will be solved too. So later on, we see Kathy Kelly speaking with Maxine Dupree. Kathy asks why she attacked Natty. Maxine says she knows AJ can beat Becky at the Elimination Chamber. She calls her attack on Natty a receipt for what was done to her. Maxine says every time she trusts someone, she gets overlooked and stepped on. Now she's done playing nice. Now she says she's breaking ankles, taking names, and getting her vengeance. So then we get to the main event of the night. It is who is going to join Randy Orton, LA Knight, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes in the men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Obviously on SmackDown, we're going to see Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and Damian Priest competing for the 5th spot in the men's Elimination Chamber. And then next Monday for the final spot, Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and the original El Grande Americano. So tonight it's going to be Javon Evans versus Dominic Mysterio versus Gunther in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And I fully did not expect Gunther to win here. They could not have him win here because he can't lose at the Chamber with this character. So the match starts off with Dominic backing into the ropes. When Gunther steps toward him, Dom immediately bails to the floor. Gunther motions for him to get back in. Dom returns, but as soon as he moves in, he ducks back out again. Gunther shows his buckets to Javon Evans, backing him into the corner and just lighting him up with chops. Some of the moves that Gunther did tonight, like the impact, was super loud. I mean, the chops, the power bomb. Yeah, he's lethal. Dom says he wants to chop Evans too, but when Gunther turns towards him, Dom claims he's just helping and slides back to the floor where he can't win the match. Evans fires back with forearms and hits drop kicks to both men. Gunther catches Evans mid drop kick and locks in a Boston Crab. Dom sneaks in a few chops on Gunther, but Gunther shows him how it's done with a brutal chop of his own. Javon rallies with a kick to the knees and another drop kick. He takes Dom down with the head scissors and goes for a springboard move, but Gunther cuts him off with a thunderous chop. Gunther drags Dom outside and repeatedly Irish whips him into the ringside barrier. So Javon starts to up the pace in the match, launching himself with a plancha over the ring post that sends Gunther crashing into the timekeeper's area. So then Dom grabs the ring bell hammer and places it on these steps, which he does try to use, but he doesn't get to use it. Evans nails him with a thrust kick and hits another on Gunther. He sends Dom back inside where Dom answers with a back elbow and stomps in the corner. Dom knocks Gunther off the apron so he can pose, then hits a hard Irish whip on Evans for a near fall. Evans fights back up. Dom kicks him back down and sets him up in the ropes, signaling for the 619 before he can connect. Gunther grabs him in a sleeper hold. Evans then knocks Gunther to the floor and follows up with a Superman punch and another in the corner. Evans hits a slingshot splash and a spinning power bomb. Gunther returns with a sleeper, but Evans escapes and lands a thrust kick. He goes for a rebound move, but Gunther cuts him off with another powerful chop. Gunther then powerbombs Dom on top of Javon Evans. Brutal. Evans counters a follow-up powerbomb into a Hurricane Rana for a close 2 count. Gunther answers with another massive chop and a powerbomb to Javon for another near fall. Gunther starts unloading with boots to both Javon and Dom, then lines them up for some more chops. Evans tries to fire back, but Gunther shuts him down with another chop. Gunther loves those chops. Javon answered with a thrust kick, a round kick, and a rebound spinning kick that rocks Gunther. Then Gunther takes back control, hits a German suplex, but Evans somehow lands on his feet. Evans explodes with a flying knee for a close 2 count. Dom is the first back up and heads to the top rope for a frog splash, but Gunther gets his knees up. Gunther sends Evans to the apron. Evans fights back with a punch, and and then springs in with a forearm to Gunther. Dominic Mysterio vs. Gunther vs. Javon Evans, 6.65. I guess it's your highest ranked match for the night. For me, it was the best match. Evans comes to the top, but Gunther clubs him from behind, sets him on the turnbuckles. Gunther goes for a waistlock, but Evans knocks him down. So Dom flies in with a frog splash. Gunther wipes Dom out with a clothesline. Dom rolls outside and grabs the ring bell hammer, sneaking it into his pants after kicking Gunther. He didn't have it in his pants. He had it in his, right between his arm. Gunther locks Dom in a sleeper, and Evans jumps on Gunther with a sleeper of his own. Gunther powers out with a German suplex and kicks Dom off the apron. Gunther gets on the floor and sees that Dominic Mysterio has the hammer and grabs the hammer, but suddenly, out of nowhere, Dragon Lee suddenly appears and blasts Gunther with the ring bell. Then Dragon Lee walks off without a word, setting up, I guess, Dragon Lee and Gunther. Maybe an Elimination Chamber, I don't know. Definitely not going to be a WrestleMania. Dom slides back in and he drop kicks Evans into the ropes. He connects with the 619 and heads up top for another frog splash, but he misses. Javon goes to the top rope and nails a double jump cutter on Dom, the Intercontinental Champion, for the 1, 2, 3. And the young OG has qualified for the men's Elimination Chamber, joining Randy Orton, LA Knight, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and now the young OG. So that's 4 people for the men's. We will get our 5th men's participant Friday on SmackDown, where we'll see Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest. And then the 6th men's qualifier, we'll see Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and the original El Grande Americano, which is Chad Gable. On the women's side, we have Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. And on SmackDown, we're going to see Charlotte Flair going up against Nia Jax and Julia's manager, Kiana James. Nia Jax, and Charlotte Flair will compete for that 5th spot. And then next Monday on Raw, we will see Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. So I think that's going to be a really good match. I'm up in the air whether Raquel or Io is going to win that 6th final spot, since Liv hasn't picked yet. Javon has to work on his strikes, was one thing I noticed in the match. I agree, yeah. But I think it's good that he's going to be in the chamber, because he's going to be flying all over that cage. I don't know how long he'll last, but they got to have at least one heel. You would think there's going to be at least one heel make it in there. So it could be Trick, or I think it's probably going to be Bronson Reed. I don't know who wins Friday. It's either going to be Trick or Carmelo, one of those. I don't think Priest gets in. But anyways, guys, shout out to 333 people that watched live tonight. I didn't really think Raw was that great. They have 2 more SmackDowns and 1 more Raw before Elimination Chamber. They really got to start stepping this up for WrestleMania, guys. So shout out to Raymond for reposting and putting a tweet. Shout out to Stampede, who will be on my Elimination Chamber prediction show next Wednesday at 7 p.m. as me and him and Vinny from Suds and Square Circle Media. As of now, 3 of us, trying to get at least 4, maybe 5 or 6 for the Elimination Chamber. But join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern for that. I have Stampede on the EVP show. Shout out to DW Replays. Javon will be bouncing off that cage like Darby, just in a PG-13 fashion. Yeah, he's going to be bouncing all over that cage. I don't know. I don't know that. I feel like I'm more excited for the women's chamber than I am the men's. Like, it just feels like it's a 2-headed race. I know some people think LA Knight's going to win, but I don't think he has a shot. I think it's between Orton or Cody. I don't think it's going to be either of those two. Anybody else besides those two. But shout out to everyone, the 341 people that's tuned in for the Raw Recap Show. Shout out to everyone from DWE, the CEO and the head of the table, Miami the Great, Final Boss Baby, Director Roach, Walter Greg, and After the Slam Podcast. And also everyone from Gimmick Table Media, the two lovely ladies from Wrestling Divas Podcast, who I believe will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in there to them. Kicking out at 2 with Michael and Tori, the Running Wrestling Podcast as well, with, I believe it's Big Mike. And Suds and Square Circle Media with Benny. Benny will be joining me on Stampede next Wednesday for Elimination Chamber Prediction Show. But before we go, I'm going to do my outro, and I'm going to play the video again on how you can get into this raffle for the WWF Old School Intercontinental Championship belt. That's going to raffle going to end on February 28th. So make sure you follow the instructions. I will tell you once again, once the video is over, how to get in. Then I will tell you where you're going to find me on my socials and what I have coming up this week and next week. So I'll be right back with you guys.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, Show Recaps Prediction Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to play this video again by After the Slam Podcast, and I will put the picture and the QR code up again after the video. Just listen to but that's just Albert from After the Slam, and he will tell you exactly how to get into this raffle, and I will explain it one more time when the video is over.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slam podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slam history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slam podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only $15. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP Show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt. Shipped straight to your door. Only $15. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month, so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
All right, $15 raffle to win a WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. How to enter? You have to give a subscription to After the Slam Podcast, my channel, the EVP Show, and Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast. And then you scan the QR code and send $15 via PayPal for one raffle entry. Each $15 is one entry. You can have multiple entries for a better chance to win. This raffle will end on February 28th, which is Elimination Chamber, and the winner will be drawn on After the Slam Podcast's show on March the 1st, on Sunday. So make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you get in. You still have Let's see what's the 17th. You still have 11 days to enter. So just follow my page, give my page a subscription, Talk It Up Wrestling. After the slam, all three of us a subscription on YouTube. Hit that QR code right here. After the slam PayPal, pay that $15, and then you are in. And you have a chance to win the old school Intercontinental Championship belt. So that's it for me, guys, for the Raw Recap. I do shout out to 342 viewers out there that's watching. I do appreciate you guys so much. It's so appreciated. Shout out to Miami, them working hard to get people on these streams with Twitter and all that shit acting up. As far as where you can follow me on my socials, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen in the blue. You can see me on X. You can find me on X at EBPCJP. If you're not following me, please give me a follow. I'll follow as many as I can. I have about 65 or so that's like pending that I can't follow because X limits the shit out of me on the follows. Instagram at EBPCJP in lowercase. I basically just use Instagram right now until I upgrade on StreamYard to promote the streams that's coming up, the videos that Greg and Miami make for my streams. And then my TikTok, also the same thing, videos for promoting the streams that are coming up ahead. You can find me at Brady, BRADY, DA Goat 21, at Brady the Goat 21 on TikTok. And last but not least, most importantly, please like and subscribe and follow my YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed and you're looking for it, just go to the search bar and type in at the EVP Show. With that being said, guys, I appreciate everybody that tuned in to the Raw Recap. I think they need to do a lot better on their product. I didn't enjoy Raw. I didn't think it was that great. But if you guys go back and watch the stream, please hit that like button. Those YouTube comments, they help out a lot with the channel, with my streams and the algorithm, the watch hours and everything like that. So if you guys don't mind hitting that like button, trying to get as many likes as I can on these streams and as many comments also from YouTube. I do appreciate it. Appreciate your Stampede. Because I see a lot of comments from you from YouTube. So what I have coming up, I normally have 2 shows on Tuesday, but NFL is over. So I will be back tomorrow night for one show at 10:30 p.m. Eastern to cover the NXT recap. And then Wednesday I am off, which will be my one day off this week. Wednesday I will be off, but then Thursday I am back for the premiere, a new show coming to the EVP Show channel and to the DWE Network. I will be back at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Thursday. I know it's a tape show. The first one's going to be a tape show. I hate that, but it's going to be the TNA recap show. I will be starting the weekly TNA recap show starting Thursday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Friday night I'm back at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap. Saturday I'm normally off, but I will be on Kicking Out at 2. It's going to be me, Michael from Kicking Out at 2. It's going to be Mr. Vinny from Pleasant Square Circle Media, and I think Princess Jess Skywalker as well. It's a mental health stream, which I love doing. I think it's a hell of an idea. I think it's super important in the community or for anywhere, for anybody. So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Saturday, so 8 p.m. Central Time. And then I'm back Sunday on the EVP show at 6 p.m. Eastern for episode 8 of Sunday Scoops with the EVP, 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday. I will have Elimination Chamber news, WrestleMania news, and maybe I will have the news on who's in the crate for you guys on Sunday. I will give you the news for the first 30 minutes, and then I will open up Q&A. Next week, it is a 7-day week on the EVP Show channel next week, starting next Monday. Monday, I'll be back at 11 p.m. for the go home show to Elimination Chamber, the Raw Recap. Tuesday, I'm back for at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Recap. Next Wednesday, join me, Stampede, Mr. Vinny from Suds and Square Circle Media, hopefully a few more, at 7 p.m. Eastern, next Wednesday night, for the Elimination Chamber Prediction Show. And then next Thursday, I'm back again at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the TNA Recap Show. And then Friday, it is the Go Home Show right before Elimination Chamber. I will be live at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown Recap. Saturday, you can catch me at 11 p.m. Eastern as soon as Elimination Chamber goes off for your Elimination Chamber Recap. And then next Sunday, to tap off the 7-day week at 6 p.m. Eastern, you can catch me live for episode 9 of Sunday Scoops with the EVP at 6 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to the Raw Recap. Shout out to 348 people who tuned in tonight. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Recap Show. You guys hit that notification bell, that reminder. You better be there. Call it the Graveyard Show, so I need some people to show up. Alright guys, once again, thank you for tuning in tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Recap Show. I am the EVP from the EVP Show and the Golden Boy of TWE. And TWE is the place to be. Good night, everyone. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Recap.